Let's do it. Okay. Y'all, welcome to Max's On the Record. I'm Rachel Robillard, and we have a very special guest with us today. He's a musician, songwriter, and singer as well. He was born in Greece and grew up in Texas. He was also the face of our Motel 6 campaign, which I'm sure most of y'all remember. Y'all give it a round of applause. Abraham Alexander.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. We are so happy you're here. Thank you for being here.
I'm happy I'm here. Thank you. A little scary, but I'm happy. I'm happy.
You're going on tour. You're going on tour with Gary Clark Jr. in the next couple weeks.
Hero. It's
yes.
crazy. Yeah.
And you're debuting in Fort Worth, right?
Doing Fort Worth.
The
then
show?
we'll do in Dallas. And a few doing New York. I don't know. Few places.
A
Toronto.
lot of places.
Yeah, Toronto twice. So.
Where are you looking forward to the most? What city?
Probably just the Texas states. I mean, all of them. Like all of them. I started playing guitar because of Gary, and so I watched a YouTube video and it inspired me to pick up a guitar, and it was Gary. And so to, have that sort of circle being closed to going out with my hero and someone that inspired me to pick up a guitar in the first place, it's every single city is going to be special, but to do it in Texas will be even more so.
And y'all have a song together as well.
We do.
Stay?
Yeah, which is, again, surreal. A hero, they tell you, like, don't meet your heroes because they end up disappointing you. But when you meet one that supersedes your expectations in regards to him being a human being and just him as a person, him as a musician, like, just grateful to know him, grateful for his inspiration, and feel like as an artist, our highest degree of fulfillment is to inspire someone else. Mm-hmm. And not only did he do that with inspiring me to pick up the guitar, but to be playing on my record as well, on my very first album, like, surreal. So,
to go on tour with him
and
too.
To go on the road.
Yeah,
so
your hero wants to see you win.
Yeah, exactly.
That's incredible.
Exactly. So we're going to shut it down, but especially in Texas. So y'all come out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Say less. So I'll be there.
Yeah.
And so when you prepare for tour, how do you get ready? How are you preparing? How do you get yourself in the mood?
A lot of it is mental. I watch a lot of movies, watch a lot of documentaries. It's a double-edged sword because you're living out your dream and what you prayed for, but every blessing has its weight. And so the weight of loneliness, the weight of questioning yourself if you're a good enough artist. And for me, it's just making sure I'm mentally preparing myself by watching my favorite movies, eating my favorite food so I don't miss it while I'm on the road, seeing friends and people that I love and care about, and then just revisiting what the songs mean to me and what's the reason for me playing music to begin with, which is to inspire people. And I get to do that while I'm on the road, and the music gets to reach people while I'm on the road. So that fuels me up.
You inspire a lot of people.
Oh, thank you.
Including myself, and I know a lot of people in this room as well. So what are like some of your pre-routine rituals before going on stage to get you in that mood to perform?
Sing my ABCs. Sing my ABCs, do about 10 to 15 push-ups before going on.
Do you really? You do 10 to 15 push-ups before every show?
For sure. Yeah.
All right, you pump yourself up.
Try to pump myself up,
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes the shirt, looks a little too big. So
Last minute, just yes.
Yeah. But that and just going over the set again, and again, just really insert myself in where I would want the dialogue to begin, and just visualizing myself really connecting. And so that to me is the ritual. Connecting,
yes. You connect with a lot of your fans. Thank you. So on stage, what would you say your personal best performance has been?
Oh my gosh. Oh man. I don't know if there's one like my best performance, because I think that it's an equation, and every single answer is different because the audience is going to be different. And so I think it's the audience plus me equals whatever is kind of produce from that. And so I think when family's around, people that love you, that care for you, and or just interested in discovering new things is amazing. So I've had a few. We were just talking about Red Rocks that I played in 21, opening up for one of my friends. Played the Ryman in Nashville. That was incredible. And also recently did some shows at the Kessler, which was probably one of my favorite just personal shows, but they've all been amazing, and I can't necessarily pick one out and say that it's my best performance, because each one just, the next one's going to be my best one.
Right? Always something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next question about the Kessler. So y'all, he sold out 3 nights in a row at the Kessler. Pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I was there, y'all, and he had his own fans, the audience, singing back to him. How does that make you feel when your fans are singing back to you in the crowd?
That's when it gets real. For me, it did, and it just tells me that these songs that I wrote in my bedroom are no longer mine, and they're now ours, and they mean something completely different to someone else than it did for me, which is great. And I think that's how you see the impact of what you've been working on and things that you've been investing in the darkness, and now they're in the light, and people resonate with them. So it's surreal. Like, folks love a tune so much that they're willing to come out to a show, and they're willing to listen to the songs, and now we're singing it in one accord. It's so beautiful. And what was it, 2020, I played a show there, opening up for the Black Pumas, who are another incredible band. And I'll never forget, I turned over and I asked my MD, music director and keyboard player, I was like, do you think we'll ever sell this place out? And
just 3 nights in a row.
Just a few,
okay.
yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, and just a few years later to open it up, and for people to show up 3 times, and each one be special, and again, but they were all different. Like, I can't pick one night that was my favorite, because everyone there was completely different, and each song had different meanings to each person, and bring a different spirit and energy out, so it's all special. But that Kessler was special.
Super special.
Yeah.
And your album Seasons is special as well. And we actually are celebrating the 1-year anniversary this month of his album being out. That's, wow, what is time? It's been 1 year.
I know. But it went by so fast, and I sat there and I was like, what did we do? And it was like, what did we not do? And I was on the road for 9 months. I think we played 97 shows, which is a show every 3 days, if you calculate it. And going to Europe and opening up for the Lumineers, which are like an insane band, and playing festivals like Bonnaroo and Newport Folk and ACL, and the 3 Kessler shows. And, headlining the Majestic. It's like such a wonderful year, and grateful for the team and just the people around that made it possible.
Absolutely. What inspired you to create that album? I know you said you write a lot of songs in your room.
Yeah.
What was going through your head?
I think the Seasons is extremely personal, and it's sea and then suns, which it made sense, or makes sense, when you see the album cover, and it's a image that was painted of me and my brothers in the ocean. And
over here, let's give a visual. Beautiful. This will be raffled off later on Set.Live. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. And so it's me and my brothers. I'm the one in the tarantarans right there. And just seeing brothers out there just being lost. And lived in Greece for 11 years. And that was our last day that we're going to spend in the ocean. And just to be together as one, and not even comprehend of the life and the journey that we're going to be embarked on, just for me shook. And so we each or we think that the seasons of our life are so important, and we try to get rid of some, but not knowing that each moment and each season is so indicative of what's going to happen to the next. And you know, we think that, oh, the summer is better than the winter, or the spring is like, but we have no idea that if it shines too bright, the plant that we sowed gets like withered and it dries, or if it rains too hard, then it drowns, you know. And so, but each season is so important for our growth. And to me, my growth has been very much solidified with my family, and has been rooted within family. And so the sea to honor our upbringing in Greece, and then the sons to honor my brothers, and just overall the seasons of our lives and my life. And so, yeah, it's extremely personal, and everything that we've been through. So
It's beautiful.
thank you.
I mean, all the songs, y'all, are beautiful.
Yeah.
What has to be your favorite on the album?
They jump, and at first it was Knee Deep, which is about that particular day.
Wow.
And there's we were there for a few hours, and then after a while my mom told me and my brothers that we need to get out of the water, and I told her no. I was the troubled.
Tell mama no.
I was the troublesome child, and she cried and like turned her face from me. And, you know, I just thought that she was crying because I was being disobedient. But then, like, just looking back and realizing that those tears for the journey that we're about to go on, and the fact that she's leaving her kids and taking them away from the only place they've ever called home, just for a glimpse of something better and a chance to obtain something that she never had. And that's a mad sacrifice, you know. And so just the strength and the resilience that she had to do that was the epitome of the song. So Knee Deep was my favorite for a while. And then Stay became another. Yeah, they're all my favorite.
Right?
They're all my babies. Yeah.
There's
they're
a lot
all
of
my
great
babies,
songs.
Yeah.
Was there a song that you almost did not release on the album?
That's a great. Yeah, she coming through with these questions. I think Stay was not going to be on the record because I released it as part of the EP before, and then when
Back to y'all. It's more pictures.
Crazy story about the back two I'll tell after this. So Stay wasn't, but then Gary jumped on it, which was a whole new interpretation of it, and we had to put it on there. The photo on the back, I lost the actual image of the photo of the picture that was painted in the front, and I was so mad and upset. And then my friend ended up painting it and shared the painting with me. She was like, "Hey, I was gonna surprise you with this painting when you released the album, but you've been complaining so much about you losing the photo that you can use it if it's of any use." And so I was going to look for the picture, and as I was looking for that picture, I ended up finding the one on the back, which is, to me, another just, you know, serendipitous moment, and that even things that we lose are meant for us to find something else that will complete what we're trying to accomplish. And and that is us on a boat on that same day, which is wild. And I'm holding my little brother, which he's not on the front because he was too small. And I wasn't even going to use it, but the fact that now he's there just completes the whole thing. And I was like, I got to use it as a Polaroid on the back. But yeah, surreal.
Very personal, like you just said. Like, this is extremely personal, from the pictures to the songs on the album. And you have some incredible features too as well. I got Mavis Staples on there, Deja Vu.
Wild.
Incredible.
Wow.
What are some other dream artists that you wish to collaborate with?
Taylor Swift. John Mayer is someone that I look up to and admire. John Legend is another one. All the Johns. John Batiste. Hosier is one that's amazing. Just a few of them, but James Taylor. Like there's so many artists that I love, and I do this thing to where I look at who inspired the artists that inspire me, and I feel like I'm sort of tracing this legacy thing, and look like shaking the tree, and seeing who inspired. And like I discover new people every single day. So yeah, James Taylor, John Legend, Taylor Swift, no lie, Tracy Chapman. So there's so many.
Manifest it. Yep. All the Johns are listening
sure.
in. Taylor Swift is listening
There you go.
here.
Put that out there for me.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
And so, I understand you first wanted to get in a career in soccer, but you tore your ACL and that put you on the sidelines. And that's actually what got you into music.
Yes.
Right? So what kind of advice would you give to someone who's in that transitional period to know that there's a future coming that's actually better than what you once thought?
Yeah, that's such a great question. And for me, it's that change is necessary for growth. And if you try to fight what's leaving you, you're actually digressing and you're going back. Even if you remain the same, you're digressing because time changes and society changes. And just to get surrounded by people that love you and people that care for you and want to see you do well, because I believe and always believe that the second person that believes in a dream is more important than the dreamer, because they help like bring that to fruition, and they help you see, again, just believe in what you're doing, and just surround yourself by good people that see that thing within you and can sort of speak life into you. And that was the case for me, that I thought that my world was over when I got injured and had nowhere music anywhere near my sights. But it was seeing someone else's vision and seeing someone else's dream and being inspired, and then someone else seeing that fire within me was worth, sort of fueling. And now we're here, and my manager's sitting right there, and she used to work in a radio, and she's the one that played, before we were working together, like she played the first song that I ever worked on and put it on the radio. And to where, like, after a while, she's like, all right, I'm gonna quit my job and I'm gonna, like, believe in you. And so it's so important. So if you think that what you hold dear is leaving your hand, that's a good sign, because you can't receive with a closed fist. You have to receive with an open one. So.
Absolutely. Yep. You got your manager believing in you, Gary believing you.
Yeah.
We believe in you.
There we go. Yeah.
Right? We have Motel 6 believing in you as well.
Crazy. My first, man, that whole thing was incredible. Like, it was such a vibe. Thank y'all for whoever saw me was like, yeah, that's the dude. Thank you so much. Like, the whole day was amazing. The crew was so nice and so kind. And those are the things that happen that let you know you're on the right path. Yeah. And if it wasn't for that and the support and the financial support, then, like, I wasn't able to go on a tour, so all those things are sort of like stacking together in order for you to fulfill a dream. And the way all of that came together was such a blessing. And my first sort of campaign, and I was modeling, I was acting, it was all fire. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yes.
So thank you.
It was fire.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, he did a Motel 6 campaign, right? And he shared his authentic story of needing affordable lodging as a touring musician. So exactly what he said, like, this really helped him go on tour in general. So you did such an amazing job for that campaign.
Thank
and
you.
Wish many more campaigns to come.
There we
right?
go. Absolutely.
Manifesting that as well, right? So now we'd love to open the floor to some questions. If anyone has any questions in the audience to ask Abraham Alexander.
Yes.
Gabby?
What is your favorite part of being on stage?
I think when I'm not operating in my own talents, and when I hit that moment that's beyond me, and I know that it's something higher that it's sort of taking over me, like, there's no better feeling than that. And then when it connects and I meet people and they tell me just how much the music means, those moments take me to the next. And so definitely operating in something beyond myself it's like akin to being an athlete. It's so special and sometimes hard to really describe, but when you can just play an instrument and you become one with it and you singing and all these things are sort of happening at the same time and you sort of look up and you're done. Like it's abnormal, but it's so beautiful. And, but yeah, that's a great question. Thank you.
Yes. Any other questions? Yes, Lindsay?
Anytime you put yourself out into the world, you open yourself up to criticism. What has been the most impactful or helpful criticism that you've received?
That's another great question. Wow. A friend of mine told me that I should engage with the crowd more, and I at times get lost with the guitar and sort of get in that space. But I think in regards to the audience, like they want that connection and they want that interaction between the artist and them and sort of talking with them. And so that was like the hardest for me to do. And now it's second nature in a way to where I can converse with someone on stage. There's a moment I was on tour and my very first headlining, and it's a 250 cap room, but there's only 50 people there. And so sometimes that can be extremely deflating, but it's a city I've never played in before. And so I'm sitting there, and before I would have just like soaked, but hit me like, dude, these 50 people came out, which again is a huge blessing. And so I played the song and then spoke to the just person I could see because they started to cough. And so called him out and like started to talk to him, but his wife was like, stop talking, like one of those things. And then I started talking to her and asked for their names. And by the end of the night, I started to call everyone. And after my set, I like named every single person, what it was that we talked about at the end of like during that set. And it's something I've never done, like naming 50 people in a room and knowing what it is that they do or them coughing or what it was or their shirt or who they came with. It's like, that doesn't happen unless it is 50 people. And now those 50 people will forever remember what happened in that room. And they're like, is that a trick that you do? I was like, heck no. No, but it's just those. And so connect more with the audience and be more present, because those magical experiences don't happen if you don't open your eyes, not just in the physical, but in the spiritual as well.
Eyes Can See.
Look at you.
The song name on the album, y'all. It was actually the song for the Motel 6 campaign.
Yep.
Ding. Okay, we have a question back here.
What has been your favorite fan interaction today?
Oof. There's this little girl, and she brought her parents, and she was saying how like I turned my parents like onto you, and just how much it means to them. And to me, like that's like the ultimate test is when kids love a tune and then they love it so much that they turn their parents, and to me that's so special. And like she's crying and she's like trying to talk to me, and yeah, like just that whole moment, that whole vibe, and seeing their parents like really like she made a family activity, and it's because of the music that I'm able to put out, and it's amazing. So that is one of my favorites for sure.
Oh, now a message to your fans. What do you want your fans to know about you?
Oh man. I'm a lot more shy than I might put off. So, I don't know.
Or something that you want to tell your fans?
Thank you. I feel like none of this life is really guaranteed. And so when people show up and give of money or give of their time, I don't take none of it for granted. And so, you know, I try to be in the moment with them, and sometimes I am too shy to like express that, but I'm so grateful and thankful for 50 people that show up to a show when the capacity is 2,000 or whatever it is, you know, because again, none of it is guaranteed, and I'm truly living out a life that I prayed for. So thank you for making those prayers answered.
Yes, and we are grateful and thankful for you. And one more question to wrap it up, right? Yeah. So what's next for you, for Abraham Alexander? What's next? What's on your vision board? What's next?
You and the label asking the same thing. Working on, you know, another record, and just sort of, you know, on the drawing board on what do I want it to look like and sound like, and what do I want to say, and do I want it to be sort of a continuation of that, of seasons, or just a whole new chapter that I get to build. And I feel like that's what I'm really leaning on, because it's hard to sort of piggyback off of something that's so personal. Right. And I feel like it has to be the next chapter, you know? So, writing new songs, and which have been so fire. And I'm excited to sort of share more tours, more collaborations, but you guys will be in the know for sure.
Yes, we are excited and looking forward to what's next for you.
Thank you.
Keep it personal, because clearly you're doing something right. This is amazing.
Thank you so
telling
much.
your story.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you for coming.
I'll give it up for Abraham Alexander. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so next we're going to have him perform, and while he gets set up and all, we're actually going to be giving away a signed vinyl and a poster of his. Y'all go to set.live to register for your chance to win these awesome prizes. Let's do it.
Thank y'all so much. Thank you.
Yes.
This is one of the first songs that I ever wrote, but it's unreleased.
And she's dancing under the moon with fire in her eyes, sand on her shoes. She's dancing under the sky, the stars and jealous of her shine. And my God put me to sleep and made her out of me. Oh, I'm her Adam, she's my Eve. She is my Eve, forbidden tree. My Lord took his time when he had her in his hands. He took the color from the night and placed them in her eyes, as deep as the ocean can be. And lips red like the rose, the freckles on the nose. My God, yes I know. And that you put me to sleep and made her out of me. Oh, I'm her Adam, she's my Eve. She is my forbidden tree. My God put me to sleep and made her out of me. Oh, I'm her Adam, she's my Eve. She is my Eve. She is my Eve. Oh, she is mine. She is my forbidden tree.
Thank you. Thank you.
Knee deep in the unknown, 10 years old, but he's still grown. Feet cold, still bold, he told me so. I know everything's gonna change, and maybe I'm naive, just too young to see distant memories blinding me. But she said, hurry up, drive them off, we've got places to go, we've got places to go, oh my, hurry up, drive them off, we've got places to go, knee deep in the unknown. Just breathe, you're fully immersed. Dry off those tears and start to rehearse. Sweet lies, goodbyes, new life. When I know everything's gonna change, and maybe I'm naive, just too young to see distant memories blinding me. But she said, hurry up, drive them off, we've got places to go, we got places to go, my dear. Hurry up, drive them off, we've got places to go, knee deep in the unknown. Mm-mm. Hurry up, hurry up. Try them off. We've got places to go. We've got places to go, my dear. Hurry up, hurry up. Try them off. We've got places to go. We got.
Thank you. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you. Thank y'all so much.